Happy Friday and welcome to California Today. I'm David Lamb. Let's take a look at today's stories. This week's rain and snow brought some much needed water to California, but the National Weather Service says there's the possibility of flood threats and more. A fatal shooting occurred Thursday in Los Angeles. Police have now identified a teenage girl who was accidentally struck by a bullet during an encounter between police and a suspect. This week's storm brought much-needed rain and snow to California, though there are possible flood threats and more. I looked into the details earlier today. Here's the story. California saw much-needed rain with downpours overnight this week. A station manager at the UC Berkeley Snow Lab recorded the snowpack in Central Sierra on Friday morning.
Plenty of snow coming down. I just finished with the 8 a.m. measurement. And it seems that we've gotten about 2 feet of snow in the last 24 hours.
He said the power went out Thursday around 10:30 at night.
So we've got probably close to 6, 7, maybe even 8 feet of snow out here in spots. Looking like a snowy Christmas Eve.
Also in the Sierra Nevada, there were reports of a loud explosion sound at the Twain Harte Lake Dam on Thursday. Investigators found cracks to the granite at the dam, but determined the dam is structurally sound and clear for continued use. In Southern California, parts of Highway 101 in San Luis Obispo closed down on Thursday due to rain-related flooding.
We are doing work and we need the whole roadway to do this. This is why we have it closed up here. We are trying to do what we can, so please be patient with us.
Part of State Route 18 closed due to a slip-out, according to a spokesperson with the California Department of Transportation. An atmospheric river or a skyborne plume of moisture from the Pacific Ocean was fueling California's weather, according to the Associated Press.
As the rain comes down, add a little bit more time to your commute if you'd like to. Slow down, make sure there's a little bit more room between you and the car in front of you. If it's raining, have your headlights on.
The National Weather Service predicts there will be heavy rain and snow through the western U.S. over the Christmas weekend. Be sure to have a safe holiday. David Lamb, NTD News, California. The Board of Supervisors in San Francisco voted to approve the mayor's emergency declaration for a neighborhood troubled with homelessness and drug use. This comes after the mayor's announcements last week with plans to take aggressive action. NTD's Jason Blair has more.
The San Francisco Board of Supervisors voted to approve Mayor London Breed's emergency plan in the city's Tenderloin district. Breed announced in 2 press conferences last week plans to address public safety issues in the city, as well as proclaim a state of emergency in the Tenderloin so aggressive action can be taken.
In recent months, we've not only seen a number of high-profile incidents of brazen robberies and car break-ins, but also street behavior and criminal activity, especially in the Tenderloin.
San Francisco has recently seen an increase in organized theft as well as visible drug use and homelessness in the streets. The San Francisco board met for over 10 hours on Thursday discussing, debating, and hearing statements from the community.
So all of us here at the board are in the middle of something that we all believe strongly is an emergency health crisis. I don't know how anybody could walk the streets of a Tenderloin and not think that they're in the middle of an emergency health crisis.
This emergency declaration has, in my view, really been a publicity stunt designed to address rising hit pieces from around the nation, and for the mayor to deflect blame from the failures of the administration, despite.
The board voted 8-2 to approve Breed's emergency declaration. The state of emergency is set to last for 90 days. Jason Blair, NTD News, San Francisco.
Los Angeles police are investigating a fatal shooting that occurred Thursday. Coroners have now identified the 14-year-old girl who was accidentally fatally shot by officers during an encounter between police and a suspect. NTD's Cynthia Kai has the details.
Around 11:45 a.m. Thursday, Los Angeles police responded to a case of assault and gunfire at a Burlington store in the North Hollywood area of the San Fernando Valley. During an encounter between police and the suspect, a 14-year-old girl was fatally shot by LAPD officers. The Los Angeles County's coroner's office has identified the girl as Valentina Oriana Peralta. LAPD Police Chief Michael Moore said in a statement, officers fired on an assault suspect when a bullet went through the drywall behind the suspect, striking the girl as she was in a dressing room with her mother. Officers found the teenager dead after seeing a hole in the wall, out of the officer's view, when searching for additional suspects or victims. The suspect was also shot and died at the store. The suspect's name has not yet been released. California Attorney General Rob Bonta says the state's Department of Justice would help with the ongoing investigation. Police plan to release more information, 911 calls, radio transmissions, body footage, and CCTV by December 27th. Cynthia Kai, NTD News, California.
Earlier this morning, one side of the I-680 freeway was closed off due to an oil spill. A section of I-680 northbound was closed after a trailer overturned and spilled gasoline. Approximately 7,900 gallons were spilled. About 100 homes were temporarily evacuated due to the smell of gas. Residents were sheltered at a public works yard. As of 2:40 p.m., the left lane of northbound 680 was reopened to traffic. The evacuation order was also lifted. The Fremont Fire Department says the overturned trailer leaked gasoline into the nearby storm drain and retention pond. The CHP estimates it will take about 8 hours to clean and open up the highway again. Fremont Fire Department says a full open is expected at approximately 5 p.m. It is not immediately known what caused the crash. It's like the Grinch who stole Christmas. Hundreds of flights across the country are canceled on Christmas Eve. This as surging virus cases put pressure on airlines. NTD's Iris Tao spoke to people at an East Coast airport.
More than 2,300 flights worldwide are canceled on Christmas Eve, including at least 600 across the U.S. Major airlines say staff and crew are calling out sick during the Omicron surge. Delta Airlines has canceled about 170 flights, according to flight tracking site FlightsAware. And United Airlines scrapped nearly 190, or 1 out of every 10 flights scheduled for Friday. The nationwide issue is also being felt here at LaGuardia Airport in New York. I spoke with a woman who's been sitting at the corner of the airport and waiting for her friend for over 2 hours.
I'm a little sad, but it's Christmas. I'm trying to be happy.
Santo's friend was supposed to meet her for a New York City trip on Christmas Eve, but a heavy delay for her friend's flight leaves Santos waiting and now struggling to fit their activities in the short time left.
Yeah, I understand, and it's a safety matter. There's nothing we can do.
The airlines say they had to cancel flights because of staff shortages related to rising infections, in addition to the possibility of bad weather. Delta says it has exhausted all options and resources, including rerouting and substituting aircraft and crews. The Delta staff at LaGuardia Airport say everyone here whose flights were canceled has been rebooked, but they can expect delayed arrivals because other direct flights are full and they now have to go through layovers. Amid staffing pressure, leaders of the airline industry are asking the CDC to cut the quarantine time recommended for people who test positive. Workers currently need to isolate for 10 days to get back to work, provided their tests come back negative.
It's not the employee's fault if they're sick, and they're entitled to time off, but it affects everybody, and it's a trickle-down effect. Who knows how many flights will be canceled later on today?
Travel group AAA predicts 6.4 million people will fly during this year-end holiday season. That's nearly triple the number from last year. Iris Tao, NTD News.
The holiday season has started and some people are planning to travel to see their family. But concerns arise with Omicron and safety rules. The Federal Aviation Administration and travelers encourage people to follow the rules while flying this weekend.
The Federal Aviation Administration reports an increase in incidents involving airline passengers disrupting flights with threatening or violent behavior. Back in January, FAA Administrator Steve Dixon signed an order directing a stricter legal enforcement policy against unruly passengers.
We've seen incidents related to alcohol, violence toward flight attendants, and abusive behavior in general. By law, you must follow all directions from your flight attendants. And passengers who do not are subject to tough penalties, which can include heavy fines and jail time. If you disrupt a flight, you risk not just fines from the FAA, but federal criminal prosecution as well.
Dixon warns people not to disrupt flights. The announcement is between the FAA, airports, airlines, and the TSA.
When we were planning the trip, we were kind of thinking that for the travel, even though it's kind of like tough to say goodbye at Christmas Eve, the least dangerous day, I would say.
Shobanyan wishes his family a great and safe trip this Christmas without any delays or unruly passenger distractions.
Oh, we're just flying to Idaho with my little puppy and my husband and just going to visit family and friends. And so, quite frankly, I just feel like it's the best time to fly.
Marshall added it is not okay to break safety rules on flights, especially during the Christmas season.
We're planning to fly to Utah to visit my husband's family for the week and then go skiing.
Actually, it's been over 2 years since we've seen my family, because of the pandemic.
They said they hope they do not encounter any unruly passengers.
And we might
just stay away.
Stay away if we can. If not, we'll just catch another flight.
The FAA encourages travelers to be thoughtful and courteous while traveling and to follow the rules while flying. Santa also sent a letter from the North Pole to the FAA yesterday. Santa says he will use a special flight that the FAA offers to deliver gifts to children of all ages across the U.S. today. And on top of his naughty list are unruly passengers who pose a serious safety threat.
A program tracking Santa Claus's flight proves he is undaunted by the problems weighing on the world today. Supply chain issues and labor shortages plaguing earthbound commerce haven't held Santa back. A joint U.S.-Canada military program shows that Santa launched his reindeer-powered sleigh today. According to NORAD, Santa is out delivering Christmas gifts to good girls and good boys worldwide. NORAD first spotted Santa delivering gifts in Russia and then proceeding to small island nations in the Pacific. NORAD monitors air defenses and issues aerospace and maritime warnings across North America. Its Santa tracking practice originated in 1955. Around that time, a department store set up a Santa call-in line, but a newspaper mistakenly printed the number of a military command center as the call-in line. The officer on duty played along and assured kids that Santa knew their wish list and was on his way. Now to NTD's Thomas Christian for our sports roundup.
I'm Thomas Christian, taking you through the California Today Sports Roundup. In their last action until Christmas Day, we saw the Warriors take on the Grizzlies, while the Lakers hosted the Spurs. Juan Toscano-Anderson and Gary Payton II hit key hoops down the stretch, and Stephen Curry exploded for 46 points as the Golden State Warriors finally got the better of the Memphis Grizzlies in a 113-104 victory Thursday night in San Francisco. Curry's 46 were the product of a 13 for 22 shooting night overall, including 8 for 14 from three-point range and 12 for 12 at the foul line. Grizzlies 104, Warriors 113. Keita Bates-Diop scored a career-high 30 points on a perfect 11 of 11 shooting as visiting San Antonio used a balanced attack to roll past Los Angeles. LeBron James totaled 36 and 9 rebounds for the Lakers. Russell Westbrook added 30 points and 7 boards as well, as Los Angeles' losing streak reached a season-high 4 games. The Lakers continued to be shorthanded with Trevor Ariza, Kent Bazemore, Malik Monk, Avery Bradley, and Austin Reeves in COVID-19 health and safety protocols. Head coach Frank Vogel missed his 3rd consecutive game from the protocols. Spurs 138, Lakers 110. The 49ers squared off against the Tennessee Titans on Thursday Night Football. The Niners enter the contest with a record of 8-6, needing to win at least 2 of their last 3 games to get a real chance at the playoffs. If they find a way to win all 3, they would have clinched a playoff run. That did not happen, as the Titans kicked a field goal to go ahead, leaving just 4 seconds on the clock in the 4th for San Francisco. The loss puts the spotlight on quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo and whether or not he should be benched for rookie Trey Lance. Garoppolo had 2 interceptions, one in the end zone, that crippled the Niners' offense. Still, defenders of Jimmy G will point to his 74% completion percentage and 306 passing yards. The Niners host the Houston Texans next week. 49ers 17, Titans 20. I'm Thomas Christian, and thanks for tuning in.
And that's all for tonight. I wish all of our viewers a joyful time with their friends, family, and loved ones. It's been a trying year, but I hope the upcoming new year becomes hopeful for everyone. Merry Christmas. Stay tuned in with us for variety and truthful news in California. Thank you for watching us. I'll see you next week at 8 p.m.